Hey everybody, welcome to The Sauce with Anne-Marie. Pull up a chair, grab a coffee or your emotional support beverage of choice, and stay a while. Around here, we talk about life, second acts, lessons learned the hard way, and all the ridiculous things nobody warned us about. Around here, there are no experts, no gurus, just real talk, and plenty of it. I always have something to talk about. And, today I have a question. When did grown-ass adults become so comfortable acting like they're 14? Seriously. I thought one of the perks of getting older was that eventually we'd all reach a point where we've collectively decided, you know what? I don't have the energy for this shit anymore. Apparently I was wrong. Because it seems some of the biggest drama queens I have ever encountered are card-carrying AARP members. Now, side note, there's no shade. I am a member of AARP. It's wonderful. So shout out AARP, call me. Not sponsored, but I wouldn't mind it. And, I save a lot on my cell phone bill. So AARP.com, not sponsored. But honestly, before anybody gets offended, I do love it though. Before anybody gets offended, if you're feeling personally attacked right now, that is between you and your higher power of choice. I am simply making an observation. I'm not talking about teenagers. I'm not talking about people in their 20s who still have some growing up to do. I'm talking about grown women. The head of the PTA. The one organizing the church bake sale. Oh, the Girl Scout troop leader. The mom who's planning little Muffy's 10th birthday sleepover like she's producing the next Super Bowl halftime show. You know exactly who I'm talking about. They're bringing Capri Suns to the soccer practice. They're the ones spearheading the collection for the teacher appreciation gift. And then they get home. And then they open social media. And suddenly they're wishing complete strangers would drop dead because they have different political views. Ask me how I know. For the love of Sophia Petrillo, make that make sense. How are you praising the Lord at 9 o'clock and then telling someone to fuck off by lunchtime? Ma'am, Jesus can still see your Facebook. Pick personality. So before anybody starts, yes, I know it's not everybody. So if that's a comment you're already typing, congratulations. You've completely missed the point. I'm talking about the people whose kindness apparently has business hours. They're the sweetest people in public. Oh, honey, let me get the door for you. Y'all have a blessed day. Blessed day. And then they go home. They log in to wherever app they're terrorizing on, and they start typing like they're auditioning to be the final boss on the internet. Here's a real prime example. And shout out to my husband. Not only is he the best barista, but he is also basically my external hard drive these days. If I forget something, he definitely remembers. So a couple years ago, we put an above ground pool up. We decided to join a couple Facebook pool groups, for tips, ideas, support. We didn't know what we were doing. So we figured, let's, plug into some, be able to find some people who had pools. This seemed logical, right? Wrong. It's a group for people with pools. It's a pool group. There are going to be pictures of pools. And because people generally use pools, there are going to be people in the pictures. Stay with me. And because it's summertime, those people are probably going to be wearing bathing suits. This all, again, seems very reasonable to me, but then you'll see the comments of these posts, mostly women. Look at her. She's looking for attention. Why does she have to show herself off? This is supposed to be about the pool. Because there were women in these posts in the bathing suits. Really? But then you click on their profile and it's all about choose kindness, women supporting women, be the, see, it's true, be the light, empowered women, empower women. Well, apparently not Linda from the pool group. Apparently empowerment ends at that deep end. Do better, Linda. I am fascinated by people who advertise kindness but practice criticism. This has been something I've been thinking about for a while, clearly. Before anybody gets worked up, I'm not talking about every woman. Calm down. If you have great girlfriends, family members, neighbors who genuinely celebrate each other, hold on to them. They are rare jewels. I'm talking about a pattern I've noticed. Sometimes I honestly think women, at least the ones that I've been around, hate other women. And not openly, no. Nay, not to your face. It is way more subtle than that. It's, the backhanded compliments, the eye rolls, the jealousy, the constant comparison, the need to knock somebody down just enough to make yourself feel a little taller. But then in the very next breath, women supporting women, empower women, eat, pray, love, live, really? Because your Facebook comments tell a completely different story. It is gross, honestly. And we're so busy worrying about what everybody else is doing, we forget to enjoy what we're doing. Who's getting attention, who's making money, who's dating, who cares? Seriously. Who gives a shit? I've reached a point in my life where I genuinely don't have the bandwidth for that anymore. I stay in my lane. I do what makes me happy. If people like it, great. If they support it, amazing. And if they don't, that's okay too. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that has to matter most is mine. And my husband's. Sometimes. He's usually right. Don't tell him I said that. Please. His ego does not need the encouragement. But, maybe that's what getting older is supposed to be, You would think, right? Not collecting more drama, collecting more peace. Not keeping score, not waiting for someone else to fail. It's nasty. Not secretly rooting against people because they're doing something you wish you had the courage to do. That's diabolical behavior. I don't know. Maybe we should spend less time worrying about what everybody else is wearing, what everyone else is buying, what they're saying, who's, doing what, and a little more time making sure we're the kind of person we claim to be. I do these podcasts and I put myself on social media, and I am exactly the same in real life as I am right here with you on this podcast. I have no reason to pretend I'm someone else because I'm good with me, and it took a long time, but I finally feel good about who I am, secure enough and comfortable enough in my own skin that I don't have to fake the funk. I don't have to pretend to be somebody else. I'm not going to bless your heart and have a blessed day you up and down and then curse you out as soon as you leave. There's no need for that. If I don't like you, I'm going to tell you I don't like you. Respectfully. Sometimes. I don't have the time or the wherewithal to pretend to be something I'm not, or to keep up appearances because it's fitting the narrative. I'm comfortable enough to be my own person and attract the people who genuinely like me, for me. And the world doesn't need another fucking inspirational quote on Facebook. It needs people who actually live them. So I appreciate y'all so much. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go make old people noises while I try and get my ass off this chair. It's very embarrassing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you're enjoying the podcast, subscribe if you haven't already. Like, comment, share. Share with some people that you think might like it also. I post new episodes every Wednesday and Sunday. Audio and video episodes are available on Spotify, and audio-only versions on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, wherever else you get your podcasts. Full-length video versions are on my YouTube. Everything is The Sauce with Anne Marie. I also have social media, so you can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. I have a Facebook group. Everything, again, is at The Sauce with Anne Marie. Friends, I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, your kindness, your engagement. It just means everything. And don't forget, life isn't perfect. The timing isn't perfect. And people definitely aren't perfect. But somehow we keep showing up. We keep trying. We keep finding our way. That's where the good stuff is. That is The Sauce. And I'm Anne Marie. Thanks for hanging out with me. And keep it real. See you Wednesday.